Good morning. We're in Genesis 31. And we were trying to recap yesterday on, and by the way, guys, we're on YouTube at Preach Facts. But, yeah, we're on Genesis 31. But I just wanted to recap all the details of what happened with the birthings and closings of wombs and all the drama that unfolded with Jacob, or is unfolding. Okay, so I just want to recap that with you guys. So, okay. Alright, so okay, so okay. So he got Leah first on accident, not by his choice. Okay. Alright. Alright, so he's got both wives. Okay. So when the Lord saw that Leah was hated, and I'm glad we recapped this, y'all, because it's looking like Rachel bore fruit first. And that's looking like a Jew Gentile picture, like I said. So the first wife is looking like it's bearing fruit. And that looks like a Gentile is bearing fruit first. I don't want to read too much into it, but this is kind of like, yeah. So hold on. I knew there was a reason why I did it. So the Lord saw that Leah was hated. He opened her womb. Okay, so he opened Leah's womb. Okay. But Rachel was barren. Okay. And Leah conceived and bore a son. She called his name Reuben. For she said, because the Lord has looked upon my affliction. Okay. And she conceived again and bore a son. He said, the Lord has heard that I am hated. So she has two sons. So she conceives twice, okay? Simeon. So we got Reuben, Simeon. Okay. Okay. So she has three sons. Okay. This is Leah. So these are a lot of details here, guys, that we're covering. Because he had her first. You know, when they got married, it was supposed to be Rachel, but he got Leah. Okay, they were together for a while, and then for 7 years, okay, and then he married Rachel. He loved Rachel more. Okay, but God saw that Leah was hated, so he closed Rachel's womb and opened up Leah's womb. Now there had been no kids up to this point. Okay, so, and then Leah has 3 kids, and she rejoices. Okay, we're just getting started here with all this. And now this time my husband will be attached to me. But yeah, what this is a Jew-Gentile picture. Or a Jew world picture. Jew-Christian picture. It may even be other stuff going on, but that's something that I got from it. This is a Jew-Gentile picture. You know. The Jews and you know, it's the same God with Jesus and the Jews, guys, but it's just how much attention he's getting from the people and stuff. Okay. And she conceived again Judah. Now this was the fourth son she had. Therefore, 3 sons. So we got Levi, Simeon, Reuben, and then we got Judah. And then she ceased childbearing. Okay? But it's not over. It's not over. Okay? So we got Reuben, Simeon, Levi, and Judah. 4 sons. In that order. Reuben, Simeon, Levi, and Judah. Okay? Alright. 4 sons. When Rachel saw it, now we're in chapter 30, still recapping. When Rachel saw she bore no children, she envied her sister. She said to Jacob, "Give me children or I shall die." Jacob's anger was kindled. Okay, so Rachel gives her the servant Bilhah because she's barren. Gives him the servant so that she can be a surrogate mother. And we saw that with Sarah and Abraham with Hagar. Okay. So we're getting all the details here, guys, right now. So she sends her Bilhah, give birth on my behalf, that even I may have children through her. Okay. This is a type of Christ picture, okay? But we're just getting the details, y'all. And Jacob went into her and bore Jacob a son, that God has judged me. Dan. So Rachel has a child by her surrogate mother, Bilhah. Dan. And bore another son and called his name Naphtali. Okay? Okay, now Leah gave Zilpah, her handmaid, because she had ceased childbirth, she gave Zilpah to Jacob because she was apparently done having kids, but it's not over. Okay. So then Leah's servant Zilpah bore Jacob a son. Asher. Okay. Okay. So we got Naphtali, Asher, Dan, Reuben, Simeon, Levi. Okay. Yeah. In the days of wheat harvest, Reuben went and found mandrakes in the field. Okay. If I'm not mistaken, mandrake is pretty much like Viagra of the day. If I'm not mistaken. So there's a lot going on here. But guys, yeah. No, when I think of mandrakes, that's almost like the spirit, because it's arousing us to, it's provoking us to the Lord. It's a initiator. It is a motivator. It is strength. So when I think of the mandrakes, I think of the spirit for some reason, guys. I'm just saying, we're standing up. We're there. We are standing up for the Lord. Bad analogy, but guys, this is a motivator. The Spirit is a motivator. It is going to guide us and push us on. So That's what I'm getting out of that mandrake thing. The Holy Spirit thing. Yeah, because I know it does for me. It's a motivator. It's strength. It's a lot. So for this mandrake to be like a Viagra almost, call it what you want. I heard it was a aphrodisiac. I should look into it more. But yeah, it's basically something that's going to make things exciting for them. So that's what the mandrakes are about, if I'm not mistaken. I doubt it's just a mood heightener. It's probably giving performance. It's probably performance. Just guessing here. Just guessing. But it's something along them lines that's going to enhance things. It's going to enhance things for the nightlife, if I'm not mistaken. Alright, so, because they're all about that. They're all about having kids and all that stuff. So it makes perfect sense. And getting his attention and having him attached to them. So I'm looking at the Holy Spirit is like spiritual Viagra. You know, we're standing up. We're there. We're motivated. We have reason. We have clarity. We have everything we need. We have gifts. We have revelations. We have truth. We have so much with the Holy Spirit. And that to me, this is an image of the Spirit, but I'm not saying that's what it's saying. I'm just saying that's what I'm saying that it might be. Okay. So Leah, so he lay with her that night, and God listened to Leah, and she conceived and bore Jacob a fifth son. Okay, so that's the fifth time she bore. Her handmaid bore 2. Okay, so her handmaid bore 2. Okay. Alright. Leah bore 4, her handmaid bore 2. Rachel's handmaid bore I got a pen right here. Let me get this right. Okay, so just get it straight, because we don't do all that half stepping at the channel, y'all. And I thank you for bearing with me, because these are the tribes of Israel, and a couple of them are half tribes and stuff like that. So, all right, so we got Reuben was the first one. Okay, then we come down to Simeon, Levi, which were the priests. Okay, that's 3. Alright, hold on. It's supposed to be 4. No, we'll just say 3 for now. Alright, 3. Okay, now Rachel gave her the handmaid, Bilhah, and that's the second handmaid we've seen in action. First, it was with Abraham, we had Hagar. Okay, so here's my servant Bilhah going to her. Okay. And Dan, so Bilhah, the handmaid, Rachel, and his name was Naphtali. I like that name, Naphtali. Okay. All right. Now Leah, Gad. Okay. So now Gad is Okay, so Gad. All right, so Dan was a surrogate. Dan was a surrogate. Gad was a surrogate. Okay. In the days of wheat harvest. All right. Naphtali. Okay, so Zilpah had two sons, Dan and Gad. So far, Dan and Gad, they're both three-letter names. All right. So now coming down, Reuben. He went and got some mandrakes. He was involved in some more. All right. Okay. And Leah's womb opened back up. So another thing to take away from this, guys, is that the life we're living in the culture that we're cultivating with our behavior in our religion, you're basically, what's coming out of that is a creation that God is recognizing as a entity, child, this and that. So what you're doing, guys, is creating nations with your culture, your religion, stuff like that. Everything you're doing is playing a role in the future culture. So it's had a profound impact, what you're doing. A profound impact. Okay. So, yeah. So, coming down. Okay. Okay, so Leah's womb opens back up. No. She conceived and bore Jacob a fifth son. Leah said his name was Issachar. Another cool name. Okay, so Leah has had 5 sons at this point. And Leah and she gave another one. There's a 6th son. Zebulun. Okay. And he had a daughter. She had a daughter. Indeed, so she had 7 children. And also 2 surrogate children from her handmaid. Okay? So that's 9, 10, 11. Then God remembered Rachel, and God listened to her and opened her womb, and she conceived and bore a son, Joseph. Okay? Joseph. Okay. So if I'm not mistaken, that's the 12. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Nope. Okay, so we got. Let's see how many we got so far. We got, and guys, sorry about this. This is something we have to do to make sure we're grounded. We're grounded moving forward, because so we got Reuben, Simeon, Levi, Dan. She had 3 sons. No, it was 4 sons. 1, 2, 3. Okay, 4. Judah. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7. Oh, there's Asher. We might have 12 here. Let me see. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, we got 12 children, the 12 tribes of Israel. So just a quick recap of where they came from. We did that. Okay. A quick recap of where they came from. The first three, 1, 2, 3. No, the first 4 came from Leah. Okay. And there's details around that about how she wasn't the primary pick. He had worked for Rachel and then he got her. So that's off the muscle. We got stuff going on that. Okay. Rachel saw that she bore no children, so she sent the surrogate mother in, and she had Dan and Naphtali. So we got 2 servants from Bilhah, 2 children from Bilhah, which you might as well say they're Rachel's children. Okay. Okay, now Leah she's already got 4 children. Okay. But she said, look, I want more. So she sends the handmaiden Zilpah and it's Gad and Asher come out. Gad and Asher. So guys, another thing to take away from this is we're basically just like spreading seeds. We're basically like, when people are breeding dogs and bulls or cattle, they have or racing horses, they have prime specimens that they're using to use for husbandry. That's basically you trying to get the best stuff you can get. That's what we're doing here as spiritual entities. We're supposed to be producing good crops. So this is nothing different. He's being tossed around like a bull, to provide seed. Of course, there's more to it than that, but that's what the end result is that these children are happening. Okay, so that's what it's about. It's about the fruit we're bearing, y'all. Now let's push on. We'll keep going. Okay, so we got Jacob and Asher. No, Gad and Asher. No. Okay, so Leah has 6 kids at this point. The 4 that she bore and the 2 by her servant, Zilpah. Okay, and we got 2 by, and Rachel's got 2. Rachel hasn't actually had any children yet. And I'm pretty sure the mandrakes is what opened up the children for Rachel. Okay. And now Leah's womb opens back up. And she has Issachar. Okay. So Issachar, Zebulun, Dinah. Okay. So Leah has if I want to say the only child that Rachel actually had was Joseph. And I just want to make sure. The only child that Rachel actually had was Joseph. Let's see. Six sons. 7, 8. Okay. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah. Okay, so the only child that Rachel actually only had was Joseph. So that's a big point. Yeah, she had, let's see, how many? Okay, so Naphtali, Asher, Judah. Okay, so Rachel had Bilhah. Okay, so Rachel has Dan, Naphtali. Okay, 1, 2, get Naphtali. Okay, so we got 1, 2. Okay, so we got 2. We got 4 surrogate children. We got 2 by so that's 4. Plus 4 is 8. Plus 4 over here. Okay. Yeah, so the only child that Rachel actually had was Joseph. And that is an image of God and the Christ, because there was only one son, the Christ. And yeah, that's an image because you had a lot going on over here. But guess what? The Christ was the Savior. He was the one. So Rachel, and that was the one he originally loved, with the only begotten son. That looks like, and he originally wanted her. So there's a lot going on right there, and I'm glad we went back and covered this because these are details that don't really get recognized. Why? Because people they're just going about their business, their cattle. So this has been a good refresher for me because I'm committed to this study, y'all, 100%. Okay. So after that, we talked about after that, that's pretty much what I wanted to cover on that. But guys, we still haven't brought as much clarity as possible to the situation. And I don't care who you are, we're getting the meat on the bone. We're getting the study right. We're doing it right here. We're doing it right. Anything gets technical, we're slowing down, we're catching it. And before I do another recap on this in a second, because I still got 20 minutes, I'm going to just say that, guys, on some of these shorts that I'm making, I get it. They're silly. And I said to myself, I don't want to make a mockery of God. But that's not about that. What it's about is, these are the real videos. There are no funny stuff, templates, stuff like that, demon faces, all of this, guys. I'm trying to reach the people that are only looking for cool stuff. So once we can draw them into the channel, then they'll see this is the real video. But guys, if I have to be stupid and silly, then so be it. Paul said in the New Testament, I'll be all things to all men that I might save some. So guys, if I gotta be ridiculous and flag somebody down, so be it. I'm just trying to bring them into the real study that we have here and let them know that we're sincerely trying to live for the Christ. And that's what we're going on here. Okay, so that's what's going on here. So these shorts that I'm making, guys, I want to apologize for the ones that don't take offense. It's simply a strategy. It's simply a strategy. Trying to get these shock and awe people, trying to get them to come back to the real study that we have here. What we have here is an hour-long study. 50 minutes. Every day. Thorough. Not missing a line. We're going from Genesis to the back of the Bible, and we're going. And we're moving. You know, so that's what's going on here at the channel. And I stand behind this message, just like I stood behind my older behaviors. You know, I stand behind it, and I'm giving it everything I have. I'm giving it everything I have as far as breakdown and my understanding and what that means today and how that applies to you and everything applicable and relevant. I stand behind it, and I'm doing I'm doing everything I can to live it. Okay, I'm not just a dude sitting behind a camera. I'm trying to live this thing out daily. And I thank y'all for your support, all the followers, people watching. I want to thank you guys for providing this arena that holds me accountable, because that's what we're supposed to do. Hold each other accountable. I'm holding y'all accountable by telling you what's going on in the breakdown and all that. I'm committed to finding out the full meaning and reinforcing it and teaching it here. We're going to make it as fun as possible. We're going to make it as enriching as possible. The salt of the earth. We want to make things great. Make Christianity great again. All right, so that was a joke, but I mean, not really. All right, so guys, yeah, that's what happened, man. To give a quick breakdown on the kids, on the children, because these are the ones the tribes came from. And it's mentioned throughout the New Testament that the half tribe, there's this and that. So the two daughters, and you know, the overview is that the birthright was stolen, this and that. He was sent away because Esau wanted to kill him. And yeah. So we got clarity. You know, we got clarity where we're at. Okay, so a more broad clarity, you know, Jacob was the son of Isaac. Okay. It was Jacob and Esau. If I'm not mistaken, Jacob is to become Israel, the country, the Jews that exist today. Okay, so we got Isaac. Now, Isaac was the son of Abraham, I believe. Okay. So Isaac has Jacob and Esau. Isaac was the son of Abraham. Okay. So, yeah. Okay, so, yeah, and Abraham, we know, was the son of Abraham was the son of Noah, I believe. Let me check. Abram. Let me check. Don't quote me on that. I'm looking. Isaac was the son of, okay. The birth of Isaac. You know, there's Ishmael. So Abraham, Ishmael, and Isaac. They were twins. They came out together. Okay. So we're just doing a recap now so we make sure that we're not just reading this. We are absorbing it. It's becoming part of us. Okay, so Isaac rescues Lot. Abraham intercedes for Sodom. And that's basically what the Lord's doing. Okay. Abraham, circumcision. Isaac's birth promised. Sarah and Hagar. Sarai and Hagar. God's covenant with Abram. Okay. Abram rescues Lot. Abram and Lot separate. Abram and Sarai sent in Egypt. No, they're in Egypt. Okay. Okay. The call of Abram. Terah's descendants. Okay. Now, I'm just looking for Abram's father. Shem. And Terah fathered Abram. Okay, so Shem was one of the descendants of Noah. Let me make sure. And from Shem came Terah. Let me make sure. We still got 14 minutes. Okay. Okay. So Shem was actually on the boat. He was on the ark. So Shem was on the ark with Noah. Okay. We know Noah was a descendant of Seth. Okay. Let me make sure. So Adam's descendants to Noah. Okay. So Seth fathered Enosh. Alright. Okay. Okay, so Seth was the descendant of Noah. Lamech was the father. So Lamech was the father of Noah through a couple of generations, and it comes from Seth. Lamech comes from Seth. Okay. Now, yeah, and through other generations, and they're listed here name by name. There's probably less than 10 generations from Seth to Noah. I say that back. Between Noah and between Adam and Noah, there was a few thousand years. Probably 2 or more. Maybe 3 or 4. But I'm looking at these lifetime at 900, 800, 900. Okay. So you're looking at some thousands of years between Adam and Noah. And that's a big point. Okay. Because it's through Seth. From Adam to Noah, okay? A few thousand years. Okay, now, we're just doing a recap. And from Noah, but it's through Seth, from Lamech to Noah. Okay? Now, from Noah through Shem, I think. Let me see. Okay. All right. Now, yeah. So the descendants of Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, these were the three sons of Noah. Now Shem, yeah. And you know, all the stuff that happened back then. So Shem is where the line comes from. In between Noah, you see how the Lord zeroes in on different stories. Yeah, there's other stuff happening, but this is just a story relevant to the Christ and how that happened. So, yeah, there's other stuff going on in the world, y'all, at these times. And it's not like God wasn't involved in those things. He's involved in everything, but this is the story relevant to the Christ. That's why these stories were picked. That's why the genealogy goes back the way it does. Because these are the stories that are prophesying. Everything's prophesying, don't get me wrong. But these are the stories that were meant for you to be heard, so that you could see the proof of the Christ. Okay, now we're still recapping. I got 9 minutes. I got plenty of time. Okay. So yeah, we got Noah and Shem, because that's where Abram came from. You know, Abram came from Terah, which was a son of Shem. Terah was the father of Abraham, and Terah was a descendant of Shem. Okay? Through a series of forefathers, probably about, I'll say 1,000 years. So Terah is removed from Shem about 1,000 years, but it's his great grandfather. Okay, so and it's like that because the lifespans were shortened after the flood. And I heard somebody say, I think it was Terrence Howard or something. He said that something perfect can't beget something imperfect. Well, for one, what's your definition of perfect? Number two, that is just a concept, and no one's there to judge if God is perfect or not. So God can be ugly all day and still be perfect because there's nothing out there above him. Just trust. What I'm saying is that people's ideology of what perfect is and this and that, if there's no one to judge what's perfect above him, how can he be imperfect? Okay, that doesn't make any sense. Your ideology of perfect is not lining up with whatever perfect, because you can't define perfect from an unjudgeable perspective because there's no one above him. You can't say what he's perfect or not. That doesn't make any sense. You don't understand. There's nothing to judge. That's his character. He's unjudgeable. You can't say if he's perfect or not because it doesn't make any sense. God can be anything, and he's okay with that, and that's okay. So I don't agree with that theory about perfect. Perfect is holiness. That is perfect, nothing else. Christ is perfect, imitating the Christ. Okay? The way he walked the earth was perfect. Anything else is just whatever. Okay, so that is the definition of perfection. Okay, so as we're sliding down from Shem to Terah to Abram, okay, and then to Isaac. So we have some gaps between Shem and Terah, and from Shem and from Noah and Seth. There's some gaps there, but other than that, after that, it's just straight vibing with names. Straight generation line. So guys, there's only a couple gaps that we've seen, but they're all accounted for. I'm just not reading off the names in between. So we got two gaps here in Genesis. We got from not gaps, just it's not from father to son. It is, but it's not. I'm not listing all that. There's a gap, not gap, but well, you know what I'm trying to say. The names are there, but after that, it's just straight father to son, if I'm not mistaken. And it's father to son over here. It's father to son. But they're listing other names here. But I'm just giving you the most relevant ones for clarity. So we got two gaps. Only two gaps. Okay? But they're still listed. So we got two gaps. We got from Seth to Noah. And we got from Noah to Abram. Okay, those are the only gaps that I see right now. Okay, so after that, it's straight down from Abram to Isaac. Okay, straight down from Abram to Isaac. Isaac. Okay, Abram to Isaac. Isaac to Isaac to Jacob, I think. Isaac to Jacob. No, Isaac to Esau and Jacob, yeah. Okay. And after that, we're just straight rolling, if I don't believe. So this is a good recap what we did, man. It really is. That's where we're at in Genesis 30. And then from Isaac, you got the 12 tribes of Israel. So guys, we're not out of place here. We are really tuned in. We are really tuned in here. And we know where the sons came from, for sacrifice of Isaac. And guys, good job. Good job. If you're watching this video, good job. If you're trying to keep up, good job. Because not only are we on point with the chapter we're at, we're also fully on point in the book that we're at. So I'm feeling even better about the channel now because this is a great summary that we've done. So from Isaac is coming down. Sarah dies, Rebecca, okay, Leah, the two handmaids, Zilpah and Bilhah, and then we got the handmaid back there with Abram was Hagar. So we got the three handmaids listed: Hagar, Zilpah, Bilhah. So guys, we're on stupid point. We are on stupid point. I don't care what nobody says. We are on stupid point with this study. Facts. We are on stupid point. You can't sit here and tell me anything about this up to this point, and I'm not going to know about it. Facts. Or if you do, please tell me so I can go look. I'm just human. Please tell me so we can go look and enlighten me. Okay, so I'm really excited about this, y'all. I'm not gonna lie. I'm really excited about where we're at. So we got, we're going on down. We got Esau. Abraham's death. We got Isaac, then he gives birth to Esau and Jacob. Jacob, who becomes Israel, I believe. Okay. And, there's a lot of imagery going on here, guys. But this is the point that we are very familiar with this. We are very familiar. And if we don't, we want to know. Let's clear that up. Let's clear up the obscurity. Let's clear up the vagueness. let's clear up the lack of attention and the, because there's a lot to take on here, but we just recapped it. And yeah, so yeah, I was gonna just recap it again with you, but I mean, we'll do that another day. We'll go back and recap, and I might just do it tomorrow, just a recap of the line, boom, 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 how it goes back, because I do know it. Okay, without looking, I'm just gonna tell you it goes from Jacob to Isaac. And that was that was his father. Okay, through hold on. See? Alright. Jacob Jacob was the son of Isaac. Now Isaac was with Rebecca. Yeah. Rebecca. Rachel Lee. Okay, so yeah, okay. Rebecca. Okay. Alright. And Isaac goes back to Abraham. Okay. Abraham was the son of Terah. Terah comes from Shem through a series of descendants. A series for about 1,000 years of fathers. Okay. Now Shem was the son of Noah. Okay. Now Noah, through a series of generations, goes back to Shem. But I just want to see who Noah's direct father was, or not, just so I know. Because I don't, no, we don't do that. Let me hurry up, y'all. So Noah's father was Lamech. Yeah, Lamech was the father of Noah. Okay. So Lamech fathered Noah. And you know, Lamech was a descendant from Seth. And Seth was a descendant of Adam. So yeah, that's where we're at, y'all. And that's pretty much, the key point. Everything else was downhill from there. If I'm not mistaken. And we're gonna keep step. But guys, for lack of time, I'm gonna let you go. But guys, we're on YouTube at Preach Facts. Okay? And we're gonna get our clarity together, but we're a very good space. Okay? We're in a very good space with that. We're in a very good space for that. And I'm gonna, we're in a very good space. So guys, thank you. Thank you so much. If you want to reach out, we're at the Gmail at preachfact7@gmail.com for your questions. All right. Have a good day.